3 great fights. This card is stacked, probably bigger than any card we've ever done. And obviously I'll jump right into it so you guys can start talking to the fighters. First of all, Wanderlei Silva and Rampage Jackson. These two have fought 2 other times. Both of these guys fought in Pride. Rampage was an up-and-coming fighter then when he fought for the Pride organization. Wanderlei Silva was their huge superstar. He was, you know, one of the best 205-pounders in the world at the time. There's a lot of bad blood between these two. Rampage, when he came and sat down with Lorenzo and I, was the one who actually asked for this fight. He wanted to fight. He had a list of people that he wants to fight over the next year, and Wanderlei Silva was on the top of that list. I don't think if you've ever seen the first 2 fights between these two, and obviously you know their fight style, you know, it should be an explosive, exciting fight. Rampage felt that he didn't get a fair shake over in Japan with the Pride organization. He feels like he's going to get that fair shake here now in the UFC, and with the Nevada State Athletic Commission overlooking the fight. So he is very fired up and ready for his 3rd shot at Wanderlei Silva. Ladies and gentlemen, the former light heavyweight champion of the UFC, Rampage Jackson.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? Happy holidays to everybody. I just want to let y'all know I'm coming and give 100%. I've trained harder than I've trained in a long time for this fight. You guys want to see a new Rampage out there. That's for real.
Like I said, Wanderlei Silva, one of the best 205-pounders ever in mixed martial arts history. Going after Rampage Jackson for the 3rd time. Ladies and gentlemen, the axe murderer, Wanderlei Silva.
Hey, it's a great opportunity for me here. This guy is the top 3 in the world, and I know I need to beat him for to come back to the top of the ranking again. I'm training in 6 months for this fight, and it's an amazing moment for me fighting this card, because the best card in the world in the year, you know. Then give a good present for the final year for the fans, and I'm going to give my best, and then I put my name in the check or knockout of the night. Thank you.
Frank Mir versus Nogueira. Again, like I was talking about Wanderlei earlier, Nogueira, another one who was a big star in the Pride organization. Nogueira has a record of 31-4, and without a doubt is probably the greatest heavyweight ever in the history of mixed martial arts. He's beat, you name the names, you name the top list, all the top dogs in the heavyweight division, he has fought them and beat them. Since coming to the UFC, he won the interim heavyweight title when we had the trouble with Randy Couture, and Frank Mir. Both of these guys have been known as 2 of the greatest ground fighters in the heavyweight division. A lot of people for a long time have been wanting to see what would happen when these 2 got on the ground together. Saturday night we're going to find out. Frank Mir, 11-3, rose to the top of the heavyweight ranks, basically tearing through everyone. Then got into a motorcycle accident, changed his life, changed his career. He thought he'd never fight again. And he overcame, not only physically but mentally, the challenges of coming through something like that. Took out Brock Lesnar, who ironically is now the heavyweight champion, and the winner of this fight Saturday night will face Brock Lesnar to see who is the heavyweight champion of the UFC. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Mir.
Obviously, everybody knows I have nothing malicious to say to make this exciting. It's an honor to step in the ring with Nogueira. I've always looked up to him and saw him as one of the greatest fighters, especially even for my style. He's always put technique and heart in everything he's ever done. It's a pleasure to step in there with the best. You know, obviously, very few people get that opportunity to fight, you know, someone they've idolized for a while. So, obviously, Saturday I get to put that in the back door and go in there and perform at my best, but I get to see where I rank, you know, personally. You know, this is a huge, huge thing for me, you know. The title has actually kind of been on the back burner just for the thought of being fighting Nogueira. So, thank you.
a lot of the American fans didn't know who Nogueira was. We put him on season 8 of The Ultimate Fighter. He came off very well. He has a ton of fans now here in the United States. And like Frank said earlier, it was an honor to have Nogueira be a part of the UFC organization and to put him on this show and let the fans see what an incredible human being, incredible athlete, and incredible champion is. Ladies and gentlemen, Nogueira.
Hi guys, that's a pleasure to me, to be part of this card. That's a best card I ever fight, So Saturday gonna be a great night. I got a lot of respect for my opponent. He's a very good ground fighter, So I am. I promise you guys make a best performance, and I'm gonna make a very good show over there. Thank you guys.
The main event of the evening for the light heavyweight championship of the UFC, Rashad Evans and Forrest Griffin, Season 1 winner versus Season 2 winner of The Ultimate Fighter. Forrest Griffin, everybody knows this kid's story. He's literally the American dream story. This kid was, he didn't show up for the first episode, when everybody was supposed to fly in for The Ultimate Fighter. We had to call him and get him back on the phone. He decided he didn't want to do it. He was a police officer in Georgia, and he figured he was going to go for, I'm just going to go for a career here in law enforcement, the white picket fence, get married, whatever he had going on in his mind back then. And we talked him into coming to The Ultimate Fighter. Everybody knows that saw the fight with him and Stephan Bonner at the end of Season 1. If it wasn't for that fight, I probably wouldn't be standing here right now having this press conference. What he and Stephan did that night took the sport to a whole nother level and got us our deal with Spike TV. Since then, he has propelled himself. He became a huge superstar after that fight, and people love him, and he's put in the work. He always says himself, I'm not the greatest athlete you're ever going to see, I'm not this or that, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to work harder than anybody else, and I go in there to fight. And because of that style and his personality and everything else, he's become a huge star. And everybody thought he was going to get killed when he fought Shogun. He went in and took Shogun apart and ended up submitting him. Then everybody thought he was going to get killed when he fought Rampage. He ends up winning the UFC light heavyweight title. He literally is the American dream. Ladies and gentlemen, Forrest Griffin.
I don't know who that Forrest Griffin guy is, but he sounds like something special. Thank you guys. It's great to be here. Sorry I'm late. It was bad traffic. I didn't know we had bad traffic in Vegas. Apparently we do. I'll try and show up for the fight on time. I promise that. And I guess that's about it. Thank you guys.
Rashad Evans was the winner of Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter. Still to this day, he's undefeated, 17-0, which is very hard to do in this sport, as many of you know. I think he's the only guy in Ultimate Fighter history that had to get through as many fights. I think he fought 4 times, 4 or 5 times, more than anybody. Everybody doubted Rashad, including myself, during that season of The Ultimate Fighter. One of the amazing things about him was he won that season as a heavyweight, and now he's moved down to light heavyweight. He's been impressive. He's one of those guys that gets better every time you see him fight. He was just a wrestler on Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter. He has become an amazing, well-rounded fighter. He's an explosive athlete, and he proved where he's at with his devastating knockout of Chuck Liddell, one of the greatest fighters ever in the history of mixed martial arts. And now he gets his shot Saturday night at the UFC light heavyweight title. Ladies and gentlemen, Rashad Evans.
First of all, it's a pleasure and honor to be here, and it's going to be an honor and pleasure to compete on Saturday for you guys. It's an exciting card, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Some of these guys on this card at one time have been my favorite fighter, and to get an opportunity to compete on the same card with them, that alone right there is priceless. As far as my opponent, I look forward to a great fight. Forrest is somebody who I've been watching for a long time. And as a winner of Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter, falling behind him was not an easy task. So we finally meet at the pinnacle, and I think it's very fitting. And Saturday, I look forward to going out there and competing against Forrest and just having a great competition. And may the best man win. and I look forward to putting on a good show.